Well, CBS News is learning that President-elect Donald Trump is expected to name Stephen Miller White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. That's according to two sources familiar with the planning. Christian Benavides reports from West Palm Beach, Florida, home of the transition headquarters, with more of Trump's picks to fill top positions in his new administration.
Following his decisive victory, President-elect Donald Trump is wasting no time building his administration. Trump announced former ICE Director Tom Homan will be his border czar.
I'm honored the president asked me to come back.
Homan appeared on Fox and Friends this morning.
Public safety threats and national security threats will be the priority.
Trump has tapped New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik to serve as ambassador to the United Nations. Stefanik made national headlines last year, questioning university presidents during hearings on anti-Semitism on college campuses.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's code of conduct when it comes to bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be harassment.
The answer is yes.
Other high-level staffing discussions are still underway. CBS News has learned Republican Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, a staunch opponent of Ukraine aid, is being considered for Secretary of State, along with Senator Marco Rubio and former Director of National Intelligence Rick Grenell.
Whatever role I hold going forward, it's going to be advancing the positions that President Trump has articulated that the American people overwhelmingly supported.
President-elect Trump is also trying to exert influence over Congress and the next Senate Majority Leader. In a post directed at the three Republican contenders, he wrote whoever wins should allow him to make recess appointments to his cabinet that don't require Senate approval. He also said the Senate shouldn't approve any judges until he takes office. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Now, Senate Republicans hold a secret ballot Wednesday to replace leader Mitch McConnell. Senators John Thune of South Dakota, John Cornyn of Texas, and Rick Scott of Florida, who has Elon Musk's backing, they're all vying for the job. Now, the winner will lead the Republicans' new majority in the Senate.